The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
It's Q101.
Ahoy! Let's go! We're waking up Chicago. Turn up the radio. It's time to start the show. On Q101 with the Morning Crew. Ahoy! Let's go! Welcome to the morning show.
Let's go.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. It's 6:04. It's Brian and Kenzie, Q101, 31 degrees outside. It's 312-591-8300. Give us that proof of life check-in. It's been a minute. Love you guys. Thanks so much. What's going on, girl?
Nothing. We're back, baby.
Yeah, we're back, and we appreciate everybody reaching out, talking to you through socials for the last little time there. But I want to hear from you. Haven't talked to you guys in so long. We got a lot planned for you. Silver Sun Pickups tickets coming up for the sold-out show at the Vic in about an hour for Clash with Kenzie. Plus, there's something coming up starting next week that's ridiculous. We did this last year, GTFO, Get the Flight Out, and we're going to send you to see Blink-182 in Miami. Green
It
Day.
sounded like you were going to tease it, but then you just kind of blew your wad all over the place.
I can't. I forgot how to
There
do
we go.
radio. Here we go. Screw it. I'm just going to do it.
Okay, that's what's coming up. It's
Yep.
just that. He just said all of it.
So Blink in Miami, Green Day in San Francisco, Foo Fighters in San Diego. All these amazing trips coming up next week. Starting next week. It's going to
I
go
know.
for several weeks.
I want to win one.
I know.
I can't wait. Put my hat in that ring, baby.
Yeah? Which ones? I know which one you're going to say.
What?
Miami, San Francisco, or San Diego?
Miami.
Yeah. I've actually never been to San Diego, though. I've been everywhere else in California but San Diego.
San Diego.
Yeah? Yeah.
I can't finish this.
Yeah. No, you can't.
Translation was lost years ago.
Well, all that's coming up next week. Q101.com is all the information. But let's get it going here. Check in with us, 312-591-8300.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101 and some facts to make your brain go. These are the first ones of 2024, so I thought I'd dive deep into this one and give you 10 predictions about 2024.
Just your predictions?
No, I dug the other people's because I wasn't around 100
Just
years
random
ago.
other people?
These are from 100 years ago. So I wasn't around 100 years ago. You never know. Yeah. What do you call it? A reincarnation? I could have been a bug back then or something.
You're about what have you been around for 98 years? You just missed the cutoff? something
Somewhere in
like
there.
that?
Do you believe in reincarnation? You think you were something before?
I don't know. The only way I believe in it is like, you know, like when people are like, oh, they have an old soul or like they're like really young or whatever. You know how people act like that?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like my soul's about to die finally. As I feel like I have a super old soul.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm exhausted. I don't have time for the shenanigans. Like, I think that my soul has been through it in previous lives and is about to like clock out for surezies. And then my husband is like super immature, even though he's older than me. And I'm like, oh, you got like a brand new, this is your soul's first time around the block energy.
Got an 11-year-old soul and you got a 91-year-old
like,
soul.
Oh my God, I don't even have time for you. Sometimes.
Your soul wants to go to Golden Corral at 3 o'clock for dinner.
Yeah, like, let's just get after it. Let's have some potatoes. You know what I mean?
Casey, you believe in reincarnation?
Absolutely.
You do?
Yeah.
What do you think you were before?
Probably like a raccoon. It wasn't a human. It was definitely some sort of trash-digging animal.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's this guy. Okay, speaking of this is adjacent to that, ironically.
Yeah.
There's this guy named Gary Spivey, and in Minneapolis, he's
Oh, God.
like a big deal. Like, he tells you all about. He's like a psychic reader, right? And he does a ton of radio and stuff in Minneapolis. So, when I worked on a morning show there as a producer, I was a young little 18-year-old producer.
Like little Case over
Like
here?
little Casey Case.
Grown-ass man, but okay.
Yeah.
Little Bubba.
He's a thick boy producer.
Or a little thick boy. Look at him. So I was 18-year-old. I was producing the morning show there. And Gary Spivey came in, and like this is still when I got treated like crap. Like I produced the show for free because they called me an intern.
Sounds like a righteous contract.
So I'm like,
I'm familiar with this concept.
Yes. It's like, okay, got a lot of coffees and produced a show and, just spent money doing so.
Sure.
I'm like, can I please get paid back for those $12 coffees? I'm really struggling. So Gary Spivey comes in and he goes, you were actually Asian in your past life. Like you didn't live in America. You lived like in China. And he goes, kind of near like the Imperial Palace. He goes, but you weren't royalty. And I go, let me guess, I was getting tea for everybody. I'm like, perfect. I just missed the mark in every life. Huh?
Not even in my
Awesome.
last life I could have been privileged.
Yeah, they were like, no, you were around great people. I'm like,
Yeah.
super.
Sucks.
God, I can't figure this one out. Can I?
Yep. Everything happens for a reason. Right there.
God.
Well, these are going to be 10 predictions about 2024 from 100 years ago that we'll throw at you next here in the Facts to Make Your Brain. Just go.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
All right, time for some facts to make your brain. Just go with Brian and Kenzie on Q101. So, 2024. Here we be. Here we are. And predictions from 100 years ago about this year. And some of these are actually, there's a whole list of them because people talked about things like there'd be world peace because there'd be no need for wars anymore because everybody will just get along. What did they have that one wrong?
Yeah.
You know, they always thought like war would be obsolete because we'd get too intelligent.
People are so bad. They're so bad. Okay, so it's the top of the year. You just had the holidays. You just had time off. And I was driving in today, and there was a guy going kind of slow, like going 70 in the left lane.
Yeah.
And I was like, not mad about it, right? And I figured, once we get past these cars, I'll probably get over. And then he didn't. And I'm like, okay. So then I just went around. Like, it's fine. Like at 4:30 in the morning, there's space. Like, no, we're not concerned.
Right.
And he's like beeping his horn and flipping me off as I'm passing. And I'm like, do you have the energy at 4:30 in the morning to be mad? Because you could tell me anything at 4:30 in the morning. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm like, just people are the worst.
Well,
Like, you're
also
so
to your
bad.
point, you just got through the holidays. Maybe you had nice dinners and maybe got a present. And you're like, I'm going to start 2024 awesome. And I'm going to change my perspective. And you're still flipping people off at 4:30 just because,
And like, I just looked at him while he did it. 'Cause, like, I just stared at him. And I was like, aren't you embarrassed? Like, you're going 70 in the left lane, and you're a grown-ass man, and you're flipping off a pregnant woman. Like, at what point do you, like, reevaluate your life? Like,
if that doesn't do it, I don't know what does.
it's like, yikes.
So, yeah, these people 100 years ago thinking we get all, like, everything's going to be better and world peace. No, there's actually probably
Yowza.
more war than ever all the way around the world. But one of the things they said, at least they thought about, was that people wouldn't have any teeth in 2024. And the reason was they would think like food got to a point where everything was like kind of pureed and we would evolve away from teeth in just 100 years and we wouldn't have teeth, that humans
Why
wouldn't have
would
teeth.
we get, like, we're just going to get worse?
Well, I
We're
don't know.
going to be turtles?
Well, I mean, some might say it's better, just everything's easier, just these packets of puree
But
like
that-
babies eat.
like, well, yeah, but some, like that's what I mean, like weaker. Like we're just gonna lose things that help us.
This is one of the predictions that we wouldn't have any teeth.
That's a stupid prediction.
It didn't work.
Who said that?
It doesn't have a name on these. It's just like
Yeah,
a list
I
of.
bet it doesn't. I don't think that was Aristotle. That one was stupid.
They're trying
wasn't
to
it-
hunt down their ancestors?
What is this? Just Greg from 100 years ago?
It was not just
Like,
some guy on the
dumbest
street.
guy. You don't even know who this is.
These were a list of scientists that got
I
together and
bet.
made these predictions. I'll find, if you want every name of every prediction, I'll find the guy that said we wouldn't
Yeah,
have teeth.
I would love to know
I'll look for
what
him.
dumbass was like probably no teeth.
Well, more of these might seem dumbass to you, but then again, these were scientists back then, 100 years ago in 1924. They said women would be in charge. Jesus, what an idiot. Talk about that guy. Talk about that guy.
What do you mean?
He said women would be in charge and men would be raising the kids.
Okay, that doesn't. First off, that does happen in some scenarios. There's women.
But
who
overall,
I'm literally your coworker, Brian.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's still trying to wrap his head around that.
I know.
Well, you're not in charge of me, though.
He's like, aren't you here to clean the studio?
No one's in charge of me.
It's like, so there are people who have their husbands at home with kids.
I'm aware of that.
They're at work.
but
Are you aware? Are you?
Well, I've just learned it. No, of course I am. But they're saying that in general, women would be in charge of everything and men would be home. All men would be home raising the kids.
Well, that doesn't even make sense because how can you do a blanket of one person will be in charge? Like, there's a million jobs. Like, every manager's a woman. Like, that was the prediction. That doesn't make sense.
To your point, that it happens, but the majority, that's not the case, where the men are home raising kids. That's just not the majority of society right now.
What's the statistic?
It's about 22% of the men are home.
You're just making that up.
I made that up, but it's about
I
right.
didn't even look at anything.
That's about right. I'll look up that statistic too. But in general,
Kind of important.
but that's factual. I mean, that is. I mean, sure, of course it happens. Listen, I would rather have women be in charge. I'd rather be home raising the kids, just sitting there. It'd be fun.
I'm pretty sure Megan's in charge at your house, so
She is.
like.
But she
yeah.
also. But I raise the kids. She raises
Wish
the kid.
granted.
But what's that?
Wish granted.
But I could stay home with the kid and raise the kid. But they're saying that women will occupy all the highest positions and men will just do physical labor or stay home, wait on the babies, and mind the pets. And that's what they said would be happening by now. And yeah, certainly it's increased. There are more women in charge of certain things and not enough, but that's where we're at. But they were saying generally in population, that's what would happen. Some scientists said that.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Is that it?
That's, how about this? Working from home because of wireless possibilities and the incredible advancements in technology.
That was a good one. They were right.
That's the one they got right, pretty much as far as everything. But then again, if we went 4 years ago, that wouldn't have been the case. That like just happened. You know, just because the pandemic that happened, where everybody really worked from
Still
home.
happened. A win's a win.
Yeah, it did happen. Also, a limit to the number of kids you could have. The Department of Agriculture said this one, predicted there would not be enough food to go around, so births would be limited to births that you could have. Like you have one kid on the way, you couldn't have another one. By 2024, you just have one kid.
Huh.
And China has that rule, I believe, right?
I think they got rid of it.
Did they?
I don't know. I don't want to be wrong about China. I just feel like that's an old thing that they got rid of.
I don't know. We got
You could only have a certain amount of kids.
because they have 1 billion people, and it was just getting out of control, and they said you could only have one
Do you
kid.
feel like they had a rule about
I know-
some type of population thing? Now you say that.
I know they did, but Case might be right. It might be lifted.
Did
'cause
you
they-
have to get rid of the female children? Or not get rid of
No, okay, now you're venturing down just a dark path of like.
Are you doing the plot of 300?
So I think,
that's what I was doing.
I think you are.
I believe, and this could be wrong, but I do remember watching. So think about it. Doesn't mean what I watched was right.
You were
So,
watching
like,
the movie 300?
that doesn't even kind of happen in 300. So settle down.
Well,
so
they do-
Oh my God, are you going to let me finish the story?
I
Brian?
want to correct you. 300.
Jesus.
In 300, when the baby doesn't look good enough, they threw it over the cliff.
Yeah, it had nothing to do. It wasn't if it had a vagina or not.
Sometimes it didn't look right. They threw it over.
It was not based. What did you think? Like, oh, it doesn't look right because it's a girl. Wasn't part of the story at all.
This can't be one of the 300.
All the warriors were men. Actually, so the babies that they threw away were for the war. Anyways,
Bye.
okay. So I think it may have been because of the limited like children you're allowed to have. They wanted to have boys, okay, in the culture. Not everybody, but like generally.
Sure.
They wanted to have boys because those are the ones that would like take care of you, carry on your name and stuff. So some people, if they had girls, like it was dangerous. Like they were getting rid of girls, putting them up for adoption. Like adoption areas were flooded with baby girls, which is super sad. And then I remember watching, like in this docuseries, specifically how they're talking about how hard it's going to be for men to actually end up with somebody because classes were all boys and like maybe 2 girls and stuff. So like now the
ratio?
the gender difference was so out of whack because of that. I remember watching that.
Where was that again?
Like in China.
Oh, in
right?
China.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see that docu, but I did.
I don't. I remember them doing a deep dive on how out of balance the gender ratio is, and I believe it was China.
So Case is right that the one-child policy did end. It did exist, and it formally ended in 2016.
Oh, that's good.
So the Chinese government allowed all families to have 2 children, and in 2021, all married couples were permitted to have as many as 3 children.
Oh, so right now the rule is 3.
Yeah. Yeah, now you can have 3.
Okay.
So, whew.
Well, it honestly, It is safer though than if people have daughters.
Well, yeah.
It's safer, because I know that was an issue with some, not all, but some.
I'm always fascinated by our listeners, by the way. The text line came in there. Carl, the paramedic who checks in regularly, just said, yeah, it ended in 2016.
They just knew that.
Like somebody knew that the China birth policy ended in 2016. Thanks. I mean, unless you Google it and just text us in, that's fine. But if you know this stuff off the top of your head, it's pretty good.
Well, Stephanie checked in and said I was right about the female thing, too.
What about the female thing?
That they had to give up female babies.
And they gave them up for adoption?
I don't think they had to.
I'd like to find out.
I'm interested in that. I don't recall that fact. I don't think they were required to give. I think that families wanted male births.
It was frowned upon, and they kind of...
Well, because for their family, so you could only have one kid.
Yeah.
And they wanted their name to carry on and their son to take care of, like, those kind of concepts.
Yeah.
But
Mitchell just texted and said, my sister has 5 kids, 4 boys and a girl. She'd never be allowed in China.
I love her in China. Just pop it out the boat.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. As we said, Silver Sun pickups tickets coming up in Clash with Kenzie just after 7 for the sold out show at the Vic. Sold out show. They were amazing last year. We had them at Ahoy, opening for Bush. People wanted them to keep going. People wanted them to play for like 3 hours. They're amazing. So that's coming up at 7:10ish. What was the highlight of your weekend? Now, we were off for a couple days here and there. Not exactly counting the days, but we were off a little bit.
2 weeks.
A little bit of time. 2 weeks, fine.
2 weeks.
That was 2 weeks. And you know what?
I saw a couple people complain on social media, and they're like, this is ridiculous. It's been over 2 weeks now. And I'm like, it actually hasn't. We just got 2 weeks, so calm down.
We banked up a bunch of days. We didn't take many days last year, so we banked them up, and we wanted to take a little break.
And you know what? We try to package our time off around, instead of like, let's take off a week in April randomly.
Right.
We try to do it when a lot of people are off. There's a lot of people off, the week of Christmas. There's a lot of people off the week of New Year's. We always try to package it around when more people will be off than not. So it's actually... We try to be considerate because we don't just take a bunch of random days.
Yeah, we actually did you a favor.
No,
I'm kidding.
we didn't do any favors, but the attitudes can chill out.
Yeah, no, we love you guys, and it's awesome to be back. And on that time, like what we did was I went and visited my family. My mom and my brother live in Nashville. So went down there, saw Jack White's Third Man Records, went over there. Saw, of course, the Honky Tonks. Me and Megan it was nice because we had a babysitter with my mom and my sister-in-law there, and my brother. So they watched Harper, and it's just weird to go out when you still have a 1-year-old. We barely go out without her. And, well, thank God we did, because you go to those bars and you rage, and the music there was so incredible down there. Then we came back. I'd say this, though. The highlight of the 2 weeks off, this might sound weird. I've never done, like, self-care things.
What did you do?
Megan got me this gift card for my birthday a year ago. And I said, let's do this, and I'll buy you the same thing you bought me. And went to that Air Ancient Baths.
I love that place. You went there?
Oh, my God, Kenzie.
What were those pictures? You sent me stupid stuff the whole trip. I didn't even know you went there.
You want me to send you a picture in the bathhouse? And you can't take your phone in there.
Megan, she's super hot.
I know, but...
Not of you.
No. Well, I should have done that, actually.
That put me on that list, too.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
We would all like a picture of Megan.
Well, like a lot of people we know get massages and that kind of thing, but this was a hour massage and then an hour in their pools. And they have that Mediterranean pool with salt water.
So they have one that mimics the Dead Sea,
Yes,
where there's
that's the
enough
first one.
salt content that you float, which
Yes.
is incredible.
It's weird.
They have the indoor-outdoor, they have the cold plunge, the hot plunge, and then what's really cool about Air Ancient Baths, and I think we're saying it wrong, by the way.
Is it not airy? Is it air or air?
I've always said air because it looks like that, but apparently I've heard somebody say something way different that was not on my radar before.
It's Ayari.
It's I got nothing. But the stone slabs are heated. Did you guys go lay on the stone slabs?
Kenzie, we did it all. We were actually in there we were supposed to get 75 minutes in the pools, and they kind of grabbed us a little bit early. I go, I can't believe it was 75 minutes. They go, no, you're going to get your massage, and then you'll come back to the pools after the massage. I go, no way. I've never done anything like this. And I'm telling guys out there specifically, if you think like, I'm not getting that, you need to do this. You need to try it once.
So cool. And I can say this is not a super girly thing because for my husband's birthday, not this year, but last, I did like a staycation and we planned a bunch of stuff in a row. And what I did, like, he didn't know where we were going the whole day. And one of them was that where it was just the ancient bass. And you don't have to book massages. So
Right.
if you want to like you could just do the swim for like an hour or whatever. And I'm telling you, just doing that is, you don't even need to pair it with this massage. It is literally incredible. And my husband's like, we have to come here for everything. Like, he's obsessed.
It's exactly what I said to Megan afterward.
Yeah.
If we ever, let's forget all about Valentine's Day stuff for the rest of our lives and just do this every year for each other. And I felt like jelly for 3 days. That thing carried. The massage with the water and
Oh, it's so peaceful. Did you try their little teas? They hand out the little teas.
tried the teas. And you leave with a smoothie at the end and they make
Yeah.
this kind of thing. And yeah.
Lovely.
It was, we did the cold plunge too, which
Those are the best.
I was a wuss going
Did
in
you
there.
go under all the way?
I did not go all the way under. Megan did.
Oh, the girls always kind of, the guys never can. It's so weird to me.
Well, I'll tell you, shrinkage is real. Holy cow, is that cold?
Well, you have to whip it out after that, so it shouldn't matter.
Well, we were on
No one
vacation.
should know.
Well, we were on vacation, so we got home, and I'm
You're
like,
not at the public pools. So you should
I'm
keep it.
going to need a minute. Let's turn the heat up here for a second.
Even after you drove all the way back home, it was still
Oh,
tiny.
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It took a couple days.
I was.
I had to get my core temperature back.
I think a couple days is just the normal size. I don't think you can blame it anymore. I think that's just it, right?
It sounds like a you problem at that
Yeah.
point.
I'm telling you, go to the IATI or whatever it is, Air Ancient Bass. If you're looking for a gift for somebody, it's
Oh, it's so
not
good.
it's pricey, but I'm telling you, I've never done. It's only the second massage I've ever had in my life.
I could tell you were excited about it because I just had to pull up our text group thread between the three of us.
Yeah.
Because I had texted you guys last week, knowing Kinsey was about to take flight and go on a very fancy trip, or not fancy, but just a trip. So I was very nice and very kind. I said, good morning, all. We just got an email from our very talented digital person, Zach. Please respond to the email when you can. It's very important.
Nope. I
Brian
didn't.
hits me up 4 hours later and goes, just got a massage with a smiley face emoji. And I was like, oh, he must be really in the zone. That doesn't really answer my
By
question.
the way, case messaged me. So my trip was I love mountain climbing and hiking. Those are the things that I like to do. I'm not a group sports person. I could watch group sports. I don't need Tabitha breathing on my neck because I didn't hit a ball hard enough. I don't enjoy participating.
Damn
okay?
Tabitha and her
Yeah, what did
pickleball.
Tabitha do to you?
I don't like it.
There's a
okay?
Tabitha in her life that really, for her to
Yeah.
use that name, she did something.
That's fair.
Okay, so not my thing, all right? But I love mountain climbing and hiking. It's a lot. It's more of like a personal journey and like personal vindication. So we did tons of mountain climbing, nice elevations, like about 1,300, feet up,
Yeah.
elevation-wise. My husband and I actually physically rock climbed because people don't get it. Some people are like, so you walked on a trail? And it's like, no, we like rock climbed. Like we scaled to get into caves and stuff like that. So that's like I love that stuff. So I did that a lot. And for me, it was one of my, when I was doing it, it made me feel better. This is going to sound so weird to you guys, but it made me feel better about the fact that I have to go into labor in 4 weeks.
Why?
Because I felt like, okay, I was able to just scale a mountain for 5 hours while carrying another human. I could probably handle labor.
Lay on my back and get the baby out of me.
Well, it's not that simple, but still. But I felt good. Like
That
I
feels
was
like a
okay.
gross oversimplification of the birthing process.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just giving you the
this is a
Cliff
piece of
Notes version. The
crap.
Cliff Notes version. This Cliff
Yeah.
Notes.
So it made me feel better about that, and I was like, it was like my own personal, victory.
Well, your
But
pictures were
Chase-
amazing.
Thank you. And I'm on top of mountains, and this is literally when we did these hikes, you're talking 5+ hours. You have to scale a mountain and then come back down.
Yeah.
Which was much harder than going up for me because I did not want to slip at all, obviously. So
Would've been bad.
I was a little bit more cautious on the way up, on the way down than up. So, anyways, I'm all stressed out. But personal victories. We're doing 5+ hours mountain climbing. And Case is trying to text me about something. I'm like, I have no service. I can't log into email. I'm not seeing these texts. They're coming in 2 days later. I'm like, Yeah, it's not the time. I will respond to an email when I get it on Monday. I'm like, this isn't going to happen, dude.
That's okay. I knew you're on top of a mountain. Just get to it when you can get to it.
I'm like, this is not a great time to text me. It's
Not gonna happen.
Because if you could respond to your work email, I'm hanging off a cliff. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I cannot.
Well, listen, Case, what'd you do in the break here? Did you get anything exciting going on?
I mean, not really, but that's okay. I went to a Bulls game. I went to Bulls Pacers, which was excellent. I had a really good time there. But I constantly feel like I'm in a rush doing everything. And it was really nice to be able to spend some time with my girlfriend where we didn't have anywhere to be. She didn't have school. She didn't have work. I didn't have work. Because she gets mad at me a lot where she feels like I'm not listening to her and working too much.
Yeah.
It's kind of a constant theme.
You're used to it.
She says that I'm working too much, and I go, well, I have so much more to do.
I get mad, too, because you text me a lot when you're working. Like, spend time with your girlfriend, Case. Leave me alone.
Kenzie's like, you're talking too much to me.
Yeah.
Stop it.
This is the commitment we have. This is our relationship. It was just really nice to just have some time with her where we didn't have to rush and go anywhere. It's not the most exciting thing. I just love my girlfriend. Sorry. It made me feel like a jerk for saying it. Room got quiet.
All of a sudden,
Somebody
guilt
say
him.
something.
Your vacation sucked.
Oh, my God. Sorry.
Boring.
Keep letting us know what you guys did the last few
I'm
days.
sorry that everybody just fell asleep listening to Case.
Yeah.
Lame.
Also, a callback to Kenzie's story about
Kenzie just like flung herself across the room laughing so
God,
hard.
I think she went into labor on your
Oh my God,
story.
that's enough. Oh my God.
A callback just before we move on to Gil with his headlines and returns from vacation too, is that Kenzie mentioned that I don't want to play sports against some Tabitha who hit the ball wrong. A Tabitha just texted in and said, I don't even play pickleball. So Tabitha,
Well, I was referring to softball. So do you play that, Tabitha?
yeah,
Please let us know.
bring that back, Tabitha. We have Silver Sun pickups tickets coming up in Clash with Kenzie coming up at 7:10. Here's Gil.
This is not headline news. The new COVID variant is called JN1. It's the first variant to share a name with one of Elon Musk's kids. Kevin Hart got down to 4% body fat for his new movie. Asked how he did it, Hart said, baby steps. Elvis Presley would have been 89 today, but a hologram tour with him will debut in London later this year. It's so realistic you can almost smell the gravy when he sweats. An NCIS prequel series is in the works. It'll take place several decades ago when viewers were only in their 60s. And Rage Against the Machine has announced they'll stop performing live. So chalk up another victory for machines. This is not headline news.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.